Today I'm going to share some interesting insights about banned accessories in the NFL, all in the interest of keeping the players safe. As we all know, football can be a beautiful but also bloody game, whether you're playing at an NFL stadium or in the park with your buddies. That's why the NFL takes the safety of its athletes seriously, and over the years has updated its regulations, making certain accessories mandatory for anyone who plays the sport. For instance, the first mandatory accessory was the helmet, which has been a requirement since 1943, but it was already widely used before that. The NFL then followed up by making shoulder pads, leg guards, and other protective gear mandatory over time. But while the NFL has identified protections that are mandatory for safeguarding its athletes, it has also banned several accessories for the same reason. So, without further ado, let's take a look at some of these banned accessories. One of the must-have accessories for playing football, and for this reason heavily regulated, are shoes. Football cleats are a crucial accessory on the field, but it's important to note that the NFL has strict guidelines when it comes to their design. Approved manufacturers and specific standards must be met in order to ensure player safety and a level playing field. For instance, caps or hard soles are not allowed as they pose risks to players and can cause injuries. Another aspect to keep in mind is the laces. Shoes without metallic ends are required. There is also a focus on the eyelets of the laces, as they should not contain any suspicious attachments. Referees have the right to assess shoes and make sure they comply with regulations. So before you invest in a new pair of stylish shoes, make sure they meet the NFL standards and keep you safe on the field. Remember safety first, gentlemen. When it comes to player safety in the NFL, every detail counts. Even the knee pads and pads players wear on their bodies. For knee pads, they must be approved by the NFL Medical Committee before they can be worn during games. Players who have suffered injuries or have special medical conditions that require knee pads are usually cleared to wear them. However, custom knee pads may be considered non-standard if they pose safety risks to other players or do not meet NFL uniform regulations. It's always a good idea to consult with the team medical staff and the NFL Management Committee before using custom accessories like knee pads. Similarly, custom pads like shoulder shells or rib guards are protective gear that NFL players can add to their uniforms. However, NFL has strict rules about the use of custom pads. The pads must conform to NFL specifications in terms of design and size, and they cannot include metal components that could pose an injury risk to opponents. Moreover, the NFL requires all players to wear a uniform set of pads, so using a custom set that doesn't meet NFL specifications is not allowed. Hey fellas, if you're looking to sparkle on that field, remember that it's your skills that really make you shine. Unfortunately, the NFL doesn't allow jewelry during official games, but don't worry, your talent will be enough to dazzle the crowd. Besides, who needs fancy bling when you can show off those sick moves? If you're a fan of bling, it's important to know that jewelry is not allowed on NFL athletes during official games. While players can wear jewelry during practice, the NFL has strict dress code rules to keep everyone safe and playing fair. The league also discourages jewelry during practice to protect players from possible injuries. However, wearing jewelry is not forbidden unless it poses a safety hazard to the player or others on the field. It's important to note that there are some exceptions, such as medical jewelry like bracelets or necklaces, which can be worn during games with the approval of the team's medical staff and the NFL board. But as a general rule, it's best to avoid wearing jewelry on the field. So let your talent shine without any distractions, and remember to keep safety first. Y'all might have seen those tacky gloves NFL players use in practice, the tackified surfaces, which help NFL players maintain a firm grip on the ball during their workouts and catch the ball better. But unfortunately, they're not allowed on the field during official games. The NFL takes player safety seriously, and they have some strict rules in place to ensure everyone plays fair. That's why accessories like these gloves, which some argue could give players an unfair advantage, aren't allowed. Hey folks, let's tell the truth, who needs those gloves to catch a ball anyway? We know you're all talented enough to catch that ball without them. All right folks, in the end, let's talk about helmets. They've come a long way since the early days of the league, with all sorts of modifications and adjustments made to keep our beloved players safe. I mean, helmets even became mandatory back in '43. Can you imagine playing without one now? And let's not forget about the added bars, padding, and eye protectors that keep those heads protected. But here's the thing. The NFL has some pretty strict rules about helmet customizations. For example, no painting or carving is allowed. except for your team's logo, of course. They even go through a strict sieve of regulations to make sure they're up to snuff. So keep those helmets plain and simple, folks. Trust NFL, your heads will thank you. Let's face it, guys, football is a rough and tumble game. But the league takes the safety of its athletes seriously and has gone to great lengths to protect its players. And let's be real, we all love football for the game itself and for all the crazy dreams we had as kids of making it big on the field. That's why the league bans certain accessories that could put players at risk or give someone an unfair advantage. So, do you agree with these rules? Let us know in the comments. And hey, if you enjoyed this video, make sure to give us a like and subscribe to Go to Football, the channel made by fans for fans. And always remember, folks, safety first. Until next time.